When I found out I was going to be a parent, I immediately felt a lot of anxiety and worry. So I went on to BetterHelp to try to look for a therapist to help me with that.
My relationship with my family and with my boyfriend and with myself were suffering. I really needed help.
I was ruminating a lot. Really getting those thoughts out to a therapist and getting feedback was just life-changing.
Discover what BetterHelp Online Therapy can do for you. Visit BetterHelp.com today.
Welcome to the Instagram stories for Tuesday, July 5th. I'm your host, Daniel Hill. No show for the past couple days, been enjoying some time off and not so much time staring at a computer screen, which really I need in order to recharge. Let's get into Mosseri Monday, which we normally do on Mondays, but this week's a little messed up. Anyway, let's get into the questions. The first question, how do I just see stuff from people I follow in my feed? He answers the question, but he doesn't give a real answer. I will tell you the real answer. Here's the answer he gives.
You can tap on the Instagram logo on feed and then go down and tap following. And you'll just see stuff from people you follow in chronological order.
Okay, that was the instructions to change your feed to the chronological order. But the real answer for that is number one, turn off recommended posts, which you can do by going to one of the recommended posts in your feed and saying, don't show me any recommended posts for the next 30 days. The other thing is to make sure you're not seeing any ads on your feed. And the best way to do that is stop using an iPhone, use an Android phone, and download the Insta-Ander app, which I absolutely love, for that ad-free Instagram experience. The next question has to do with content appeals. If you've had content taken down for any sort of copyright violation, you have the opportunity to appeal it. And in fact, it does get reviewed. Here's how he explains the process of that happening.
Absolutely. So if you get a piece of content taken down because it violates the community guidelines, you can always appeal it. You can always go to profile and then settings account status to see if you've got any takedowns, and you can appeal anything you disagree with.
You know what's really confusing about that? If you get content taken down, say you use music and there's a licensing rights issue, Instagram is really the ones who are responsible for ensuring that that music is licensed properly. For instance, you can use all kinds of different music on Reels or Stories because they handle the licensing. I still don't understand why it's on the end user to handle that. That makes no sense at all. All right, next question. Reels is complicated to use. Will you make it simpler? Man, if that's not the truest statement ever, why is making a reel so complicated? I will give Instagram credit. They have been working on tools to make it simpler. Here's the answer.
We're actively exploring a number of ways to make Instagram simpler. One is consolidating all video formats into just Reels, and another is cleaning up the navigation. So you might be in one of those tests right now, still trying to figure out the exact experience, but making things simpler soon.
All right, we're going to take a quick break with a word from our commercial sponsor, and then when we come back, we're going to talk about what to do if your feed is full of Reels, but you only want to see photos. The Instagram Stories is sponsored by #Slayer.com. Do you want to reach more of your ideal customers with your Instagram content? #Slayer.com is the easy-to-use Instagram tool that gets your posts seen. You can reach new audiences, build your audience, and grow your business. Get your first month free by using the code IGStories at #Slayer.com. Again, that's code IGStories. And we're back. Next question. My whole feed is full of Reels, but I prefer just seeing photos. How do I go back? Great question. Here's the answer.
That's not intended. If you're not interested in Reels, we try not to show you Reels. But if we're not doing a good job with ranking, you can always tap on Instagram at the top and go down to following. And you'll just see posts from those you follow in chronological order.
That was not a great answer. Next question. Why only creator monetization in the US? What gives? Hey, people around the world are on Instagram and creators want to make money. Here's his answer.
We want to extend different ways for creators to monetize to creators around the world because most creators aren't in the US. But we had to start somewhere, and because we're just getting started in a lot of ways and we're behind the industry. So making fast progress and hope to expand to other countries soon.
All right, the last question we're going to talk about today. Maybe you've heard people say that as of very recently, they've gotten a lot less engagement on their posts and Instagram has made a major change to the algorithm. That is not how Instagram works. And actually, Adam Mosseri does a really good explanation of how it does work, which is small incremental changes over time, not big changes at once.
I'm not sure. Generally, when things change, people usually assume there's a new algorithm. That's not usually how things work. We make small changes to how ranking works all the time, but there's no major new algorithm that we just launched. So if you're hearing that, it's probably just people guessing.
All right, that's going to do it for the Q&A today. Thank you so much for listening. As always, I really appreciate when you take the time to listen. And if you enjoy the show, if you could do me a favor and leave a review on Apple Music or wherever you listen. Apple Music's really the preferred place, and I link to it right in the show notes. You can get there directly and just write a few words about what you think of the show, especially if it's positive. If it's negative, send me a DM and I'll fix it, whatever you recommend that I do to fix it. Thanks so much for listening, and be sure to come back tomorrow for more Instagram news.
I'm not yet a member of the Instagram team, but my podcast covers many Instagram themes. But the name, image, logos are trademarks of Instagram and the LCC in the USA and every territory. Everything I publish independently until Zuck returns my DMs and starts to pay my salary. Not sponsored or endorsed, no lies, no fallacies. I use their logo with permission, not malicious or callously. No trademark violation, filling all criteria. Follow me on Instagram or Twitter at Daniel Hill Media.